The thing that deters so many different players away from hero is they take a look at the hero archetype and they get overwhelmed. What's good? What's bad? What is this supposed to mix with? And there are so many, let's be honest, not so good effects on the surface when they read a lot of these different hero cards. Also, if, for example, if I'm brand new to hero decks, if I do put a hero deck together, what am I supposed to do? What is it supposed to do? All these different lines and everything. Like what's the order? There's no order in which we navigate this deck. But I'm here to clear the air, make things a bit easier, and hopefully teach you and convince you to play hero in this episodic hero tutorial series.
D-Time!
Michael Bowden here, and I am your host, Destiny Hero Mike. And welcome, and if you're here for the first time, to D-Time! Yu-Gi-Oh! We're here, baby. It's always D-Time in more ways than one. And I want to give you guys a round of applause, especially for those who found this via search or what have you, because there are not a lot of videos actually properly breaking down episodically how to play hero in depth. Video after video, how to play hero, explaining to you. Now there are tons of different replays, there are tons of duels you can watch, there are tons of deck profiles. Maybe you get some sort of reference that you can use for reference or for an idea. But there is nothing that I know of. Say if I wanted to play hero for the first time, and it piqued my interest because Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is a very popular series, the second most popular series next to the original DM era. And what do I do? What am I supposed to do with it? We got all these different heroes. We got vanilla. Do I play Bishinatrix? Do I play Elemental Hero Avion? Do I play Sparkman? He has 16 attack power. Am I supposed to play him? And how many, if so? All these questions will be answered in this tutorial, and I really appreciate you guys for taking the first step to actually learn how to play hero. And here we're gonna break it down for you guys. So this is the first episode, and we're gonna start with the basic. And so if you're ready for more, you want to see more, and I've got a lot more coming because it gets deeper and deeper. Subscribe, please subscribe, because you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss the deeper steps of this. This is the first episode, so we're gonna start things off very simple. Okay, now decks today, they work in starters. Everything, like, if a deck doesn't have a starter, then it's not a deck. Or if the starter isn't good or consistent or viable, or there isn't access to that starter, the deck is what will be considered inconsistent. But what makes hero consistent is their starters and powerful. So the first one is going to be Elemental Hero Stratos. And I would say the word obviously, but I'm not going to say the word obviously. There are a lot of players out there that don't know that the importance of Elemental Hero Stratos. Elemental Hero Stratos is almost essentially a one-card setup. You normal summon him. He's like one of the best normal summons in the entire game. He's been for a very, very long time. And let's go over his effect. When this card is normal or special summon, you can activate one of these effects. You destroy spell or trap cards on the field up to the number of hero monsters that you control, except this card. So say if I have one or two other, even Stratos, because he doesn't count himself, one or two other heroes on the field, he's going to destroy equal to the amount of the other heroes on my side of the field, not including himself. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for turn one, for example. Heroes excel in turn one. I also want to break that down. Heroes excel in turn one. They OTK crazily, one turn kill, but we want to go first. So we want to get that out of the way. The second effect: add one hero from your deck to your hand. Very simple. Not once per turn, by the way. On a normal or a special summon. And that's going to be your most basic summon, and he is a very accessible starter. He's a 3 of. Now your ratio, you can play 3 or 2. Personally, I play 2, but it depends on what kind of variant you're playing. There are different variants, but we're not going to get into that. We're just going to keep to the bare basic bone minimum that each hero deck plays. Okay, so there's that normal summon. All right, the second normal summon of the deck, and some may argue is the best summon of the deck, Vision Hero Vion. Now I argue he's the most powerful summon of the deck, but doesn't mean that he's the best summon in my opinion. They vary. They vary. They're Stratos and Vion. They are not better than the other. It just varies depending on what your hand is and what the situation is. But here's what makes Vion so powerful on summon, normal summon, or special summon. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send one hero monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then you can. It's a non-summon effect. It's just an ignition effect. You can once per turn banish one hero from your graveyard for cost and add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. Extremely important. They need each other, these two. Absolutely very important. So you have two normal summons in the deck. There's not a lot of different decks that have two different equally powerful normal summon. There's really not that many decks that have that offer that. So now we're going to get a little more advanced here. Vision Hero Ferris. By the way, the Vision Hero Vion is a 2 to 3 of. Currently, I'm playing 2. You don't want to have your normal summons mix too much. You don't want to like 3 Stratos and 3 Vion. That's too many normal summons per turn, and then you're gonna have a brick. So just choose wisely. For me, it's 2 of each. For me, Vision Hero Ferris. So what this guy does is he's very important combo piece. We're getting in a little more advanced here, and we're getting into our combo pieces. Okay, so you can discard one other hero from your hand, especially summon this card from your hand. And if this card is normal or special summon, you can place one Vision Hero, any Vision Hero, doesn't matter what level or who it is, even a copy of himself, I believe. No, not a copy of him, except himself. But you can place any Vision Hero, for example, a Vision Hero Increase, which is the next reveal, from the deck to the back row as a spell or trap card. It's a continuous trap card. Okay, that's his first effect. Okay. And then and if you do that, you are locked into hero for the rest of the turn if you do that. So just so you know. So he's your extender, okay? He's like one of the best extenders in the game because it's very easy to send other hero from the hand to the graveyard. Something such as a Destiny Hero Malicious. Let me go briefly find him for you guys. So something such as a Destiny Hero Malicious. You send this card from the hand to the graveyard, and I'm going to include Malicious in this too. You're going to absolutely need this. You're going to need 2 Destiny Hero Malicious. But before we get into Destiny Hero Malicious, so he combos the best with Destiny Hero Malicious or something like a Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, and then he will get you your Vision Hero Increase. And the last of the Vision Hero, before we get into Malicious, that's a whole, it's really a whole other thing, but again, we're just talking about our starters, honestly. Malicious is more of an extender, so let's hold off on that for now. The Vision Hero Increase is very important now. This is our Garnet, okay? So look, we've got 2 starters / normal summons. We've got our primary extender, the Vion. The Stratos typically goes to search the Ferris if he's not in hand already, okay? And if you have neither, that's when the Vion is supposed to come through. That's what makes this deck very consistent. But lastly, our Garnet. The Vision Hero Increase, you do not want to draw him. You cannot do anything with him when he's in your hand. And this is the reason why many heroes are playing 2, but personally I'm playing only 1 to reduce that chance of drawing it. And if I do draw it, I should be seeing myself a Vion. If I'm more likely to hard draw a Vion than I do an Increase, but without further ado, let's get into its effect. So if this card is in the spell or trap card zone as a continuous trap, what it can do is on either player's turn. Well, the first effect is that if this card is in the graveyard, so let's just pretend that this card is in the graveyard, because I'm getting ahead of myself. This is more the advanced effect, but for example, let's put these 2 head up. Okay, this is my graveyard, that's what they have. Okay, they have a Stratos. They attack me, I take 1800 direct. This is my graveyard. He places himself, if I take burn or battle damage, he can place himself from the graveyard to the spell trap card zone, and that's his effect, which is very important. But again, we're just going with the basics. The Vision Hero Ferris is going to place him. You want to place your Increase to the back row, and while he's in the back row, his effect reads, because it's a continuous trap card, it can activate as a spell speed 2. It can activate as a spell speed 2 on either player's turn during the main phase only, okay? So what he does is he can tribute any hero, either the Vion or Stratos, but the most common things that you're going to be tributing are the Stratos and the Ferris, so one or the other. So let's tribute the Stratos, right? And then he will special summon himself from the spell trap card zone as a trap card to the monster zone as a monster, an entirely new card. Then now his powerful effect kicks in, which is very powerful. He can special summon a Vision hero level 4 or lower from the deck to the main to your side of the field. Okay, so usually you're gonna go for a Vision hero Vion, boom, for free, which is gonna trigger your Vions on summon effect, and that's what these guys do. Okay, so that's what the Vision hero package does and how powerful it is. And lastly, what every hero plays is Shadow Mist. You absolutely have to play Shadow Mist. And for those of you already know, we're not going to talk about the Elemental Hero Liquid, which is mandatory. You absolutely must play it, but it's more of an extender. It's not a starter. And it doesn't really fit the theme of this video. We want to keep things simplified so that it's easy to digest for you guys. We're not even going to get into extra deck. But Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, what she does is if she is special summoned, so by either way, something like a Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier or something like the most common way a hero lives from the deck, she can add a Mass Change spell card from the deck to the hand. So you're going to get your Mass Change. That's what she does on special summon. But typically during your starter combo, you're typically not going to be using her special summon effect. It's really her graveyard effect. You can only use one of the turn. Well, before I get to that, the clause. This card is sent to the graveyard. So, for example, there are two ways that she can be sent to the graveyard. She can be sent to the graveyard by Vision Hero Ferris' cost effect, and it will go off in a separate chain link. That way you can choose your chain order to chain block, or the Vision Hero Vion from the deck to the graveyard. And her effect will trigger to add any hero, something like a Stratos, for example, from deck to hand. And you can only use one or the other effect per turn. So she's a very key part of your starters, of your combos. So that is going to be the starting pieces and what you should play. Now notice what you didn't see. You did not see an Elemental Hero Avion or Prestinatrix or Clayman. You didn't see anything of that nature. So these are your most important starters. So some of the ratios that I want to recommend: 2 max increase. I play 1, but a lot of hero players who start out, they usually start out with 2, but I recommend 1. I know it's harder to wrap your mind around such a concept, but you want to play 1, absolutely. 2 to 3 Stratos, because he's your starter. He's your starter next to Vion. The thing is, Stratos. Remember this: Stratos equals Ferris, which equals a full board setup. Let's just do a quick test hand just for something very simple for you guys. Give you an idea what it's supposed to look like. Normal summon Stratos. Activate the effect to add a Ferris from deck to hand. Okay? And then let's say our hand consists of something like a Shadow Mist. Okay? So we use our Vision Hero Ferris to send Shadow Mist from the hand to the graveyard. Boom, there goes the Ferris. So now we have a chain link, the Shadow Mist, for example. Chain link 1, Shadow Mist. Chain link 2, Ferris. And Ferris is going to, as chain link 2, place the Vision Hero increase from the deck to the back row, to the spell trap card zone. And then the Shadow Mist will resolve and add us something from our deck to our hand, something like another Stratos. I'm not going to get too advanced in the combos, just showing you what the end board should look like. The next thing, as Vion is in our deck, by the way, the increase will send our Stratos from the field to the graveyard as cost to special summon itself, and then now its new effect on summon, a new chain link. Special summon a Vision Hero Vion from the deck, and what is Vision Hero Vion going to do? He's going to send a hero from our deck to the graveyard, very common Destiny Hero Malicious. And now we have an extra hero, which really should be the Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier. And then the next thing we do is we banish a dead hero. So she's kind of dead in the graveyard, so we can banish her with the Vision Hero Vion's effect and add polymerization from deck to your hand. And now we have a plethora of options. We have a hero body in hand and 3 monsters on the field, just from one normal summon. And we also have something like a Destiny Hero Malicious in the graveyard. Stay tuned for the next setup. We're gonna get into extra deck options and what you're supposed to be doing with your extra deck and how things work. And I definitely cannot wait to explain that to you guys. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, please ask in the comments. I'll do the best I can to share all the knowledge that I have for you guys. But yes, please ask questions. And also, please feel free to join that Discord link down in the description. There are all sorts of hero players that are more than willing to help you build a hero deck, and you can show them your build and what ideas you have, and they'll tell you what they think. And I might be there too. I'm very busy these days, especially with videos such as this, but I may be there too to help out. So anyways, I appreciate you guys. You guys have a great one, and stay tuned for the next episode.